Sad to say, we live in a world in which we are surrounded by psychopaths and narcissists who love to ensnare us in their traps. But if we are wise and if we stop and think about what they are doing, once we understand what they are doing, then we can turn the tables on them and we can ensnare them in their own trap. Here's how we do it. Number one, take what they do seriously, but don't take it personally. When I say that, I expect a lot of people will stop and bristle at the fact that I'm saying don't take it personally because, hey, it is personal, right? They have affronted you, they have abused you, they have taken advantage of you, they maybe have even ripped you off. Yeah, it's personal. They have hurt me personally, but when you put it in this context, think of the psychopath, think of the narcissist as a sportsman or a hunter who is out hunting rabbit. He doesn't care which rabbit he bags, he just wants to get a rabbit. And you are the rabbit. And it's not like they came after you as an individual, had your name, your social security number, your height, weight. Okay, this is the person I want to bag. They didn't think that. What they're looking for is somebody, anybody who fits the profile of vulnerability or a rabbit. And that just happened to fit your profile. But a lot of other people fit the same profile. So don't take it personally. Because when we take it personally, what happens is we confuse self-defense with self-deception. That is to say, we are self-deceived into thinking that this is a personal affront when really you could have been just anybody. And so we go into this self-defense mode because we're taking it personally. Yeah, well, it is personal, but we need to take it seriously, but understand that they didn't attack you just because you happen to be you. They attacked you because you happen to fit a broad profile. Now, if you are autistic, if you are somebody who is quiet, if you are somebody who is empathetic, you fit the profile. You're the individual they go after because you are, in their minds, vulnerable. But keep in mind, this is not all about you, it's all about them. So don't take it personal, but you got to take it seriously. You got to take it, don't take it with a grain of salt. That's not what we're saying. We need to focus on what this individual is doing, not only to us, but to everybody. Number two is this: regulate what I call self-talk. That is to say, these people get inside our heads when we take it personally. We start to think, oh, this guy is doing this to me. I finally figured it out. No more love bombing, no more love bonding. They're actually showing themselves for who they are, and then you begin thinking of retribution. How am I going to get these people back? And usually that translates into tit for tat. That is to say, when they hurt us, we're going to hurt them back. Now, sometimes tit for tat works. When somebody does something kind to you, you want to repay that kindness. But when somebody hurts you, they expect you to respond. They expect you to react, and that's their trap. Because, theory of mind, game theory, it's like playing chess. They know all the moves that you could possibly make in their mind. They're thinking this when they make their move. So their move is to attack you, to take advantage of you. Now they're waiting for your move. They're expecting your move because they've already decided a counter move. It's all in their head. But what if you don't make your move? What if you just do nothing? What if you don't take it personally? What if you eliminate that self-talk and say, I'm going to get this guy back? What if you just, don't be all that assertive? Okay, now they're befuddled. Their minds are wondering what is going on here. You're not reacting the way you're supposed to. You're not responding the way you are supposed to. But what you are doing is, number three, you are retreating tactfully. Yeah, you are retreating on purpose, and you are retreating, just my opinion, so that you can lure them off the high ground so they will chase you, and you are luring them into your trap. So just what I've learned with narcissists is when you discover they're narcissists, do nothing. I mean, just do nothing so that you can do something. I don't know if that makes sense, but that is what a tactical retreat is all about. It's backing off. So instead of them luring you into their trap, you are now luring them into your trap. So the way that I like to summarize number 3 is act responsibly, not responsively. So we're not going to respond to these people, but we're going to be moving into a mode of self-responsibility. In other words, we're going to stop, we're going to think, and by the way, we're going to tie these 5 things together in just a moment. Number 4, I think it's important to understand turf wars, that is, to understand how narcissists think, how psychopaths think, and it's all about provocation. It's all about their ego. You probably know that, but it's all about feeding their ego. People call that supply. Just like you supply food to feed someone's appetite, you supply their ego to satisfy their appetite for their warped sense of self-worth. It's how they get it. They steal it from you. In other words, they encroach upon your boundary. They encroach upon your turf, and they're stealing from you. Stealing your sense of self-worth. Stealing your sense of who you are. They're taking away a part of you and adding it to them. Yeah, that's kind of obvious, right? So what do? What we do is we recognize it's not about us, and we're going to respond accordingly. This guy didn't pick me out because of me. He chose me, or she chose me, because I fit the profile of vulnerability. And they expected, again, that response, that reaction, and they're not going to get it. So now what are they going to do? Well, what we do, number 5 is, and this is a solid foundation for us, and that is to have that sense of a strong sense of self-worth, because once we have it, they can't take it away. Once we understand who we are and we have established that we are valuable people, and they want to take away our sense of value, we're not going to let them. Not going to happen. Now what are they going to do? Well, what we do is we clarify our personal values, and we talked earlier about, self-talk, but now we need to invert that self-talk where we are building ourselves up and saying, they're not going to get away with this, but I'm going to act responsibly, not responsibly. I'm going to act smart about this, and I'm going to not embody them. It's not going to be tit for tat, using their tactics to get back at them, because that's exactly what they want. That's how they control us. When a narcissist gets you to fight with them, they're getting a response from you. They're getting a reaction. In their mind, they are controlling you by virtue of the fact that you are reacting instead of being responsible. But if you don't react, if you don't join in the fight, if you don't get into the cesspool with them where they love to wrestle, it's their cesspool. If they want to live there, fine. As I often say, people with narcissism actually make such a mess out of their life. It's like they live in their own cesspool. Cesspool of their own making, and, let them live there. Whatever. Okay, now, what we want to do is, and this is the essence of what we're talking about when we say set a foundation, a solid foundation of self-worth, we want to stay in our lane. Now, this is key. Everything we talked about, we're going to kind of summarize it right here. We need to stay in our lane and let the offender, let the abuser, let the narcissist, the psychopath make the mistakes. That is how you set a trap for a narcissist. They set a trap for you, knowing, like a chess player, what moves you're going to make, and what moves they expect you to make is to be reactive, to be responsive, to fight back. But you're doing nothing. What you're doing is you are observing them. I'll give you an example. So let's say here is a narcissist, and they say something hateful about you and something disgusting to you, and you react by firing right back. You say something angry, hateful, disgusting about them, and what does the narcissist do? He blames you for saying something hateful. Of course, he just totally, or she just totally leaves out the part about triggering the event. They set this thing off. It's their fault. But they leave that part out of it. They just say what you said. They tell everyone what you said. Now you're the bad guy. Same thing. It may not be something you said. Maybe something they did. I guess in extreme cases, they may punch you in the nose. Could happen, I guess. So you say, well, I'm going to fix this guy. I'm going to punch him back. Well, sometimes you got to do that for self-defense. But a lot of times, when you punch somebody back, what they will say is you punch them. They'll leave out the part about them instigating the conflict. They just leave that part out. That is their trap. Your trap is you observe, you take notes. I mean, literally write down the date, the time, the event, what happened. But better yet, and I found one of the best ways to set a trap for a narcissist, and I've actually done this. You got to be careful, make sure it's legal in your jurisdiction, but you record them. Video record them, maybe even audio record them. I've got this wonderful story that I share now and again about a narcissist who would come to my office when I was in business, and he'd sit down casually, leisurely, get on his cell phone, and smear people, slander people, including me, in my own office, totally ignoring the fact that there was a video camera sitting right there next to him. Didn't even dawn on this guy. He was so obsessed with getting supply, he didn't even notice. I mean, it was there. It was obvious. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't a secret camera. It was right there where anybody and everybody. I did it on purpose. I like to put the camera out in the open so people would know when they walk into my office, if they do anything unseemly, unethical, or illegal, they're going to be caught on camera. He didn't get it. He just missed it. And to be honest with you, I kind of forgot about it. So years later, a couple years later, I was going through my hard drive, deleting, stuff I didn't need, and I wanted to see what was there before I deleted it, and I saw all these video files. I said, man, what is that? Oh, yeah, that was my camera. And I started looking at some of those video files. It was motion activated, so it didn't record everything, but anytime anybody came in or did anything or said anything, there was a record. Video record of it. And I started looking at some of those videos, and there he was, sitting right, what's the phrase? Smack dab in front of the camera. On a cell phone, trash-talking people, including me. I got it. He fell into the trap, did not know it. So what I'm saying is, just be quiet. Or the way that I like to phrase it, and you've heard me say this before, but stay in your lane. Let the offender make the mistakes. Let the narcissist make the mistakes. Let the psychopath make the mistakes, because they're really good at making mistakes. This is what their whole life is all about, is being offensive and hurting people. That's what gives them supply. That is their nature. All right. So don't take it personally, but take it seriously, because these people are like hunters, So they go out in the woods and they're hunting for rabbits. They're not looking for you personally. They're just looking for any rabbit. And you just happen to fit the profile. So when we say don't take it personally, that's what we're saying. You're just a person who fits the profile of a rabbit. And so you become the target. And when you realize it's not all about you, you can stop and think about this. Hang on a second. This is really not personal in that sense. I mean, it's personal in the fact that they're attacking you, a person. But it's not personal in the sense that they have singled you out just because you are you. No, they attacked you because you happen to be in the right place at the right time, or the wrong place in the wrong time, however you want to say it. And you fit the profile, so bam, they hit you. And they've been hunting rabbits before, and they're going to hunt rabbits later. It's not about you. Again, it's all about them. There is a circle in the lower right-hand corner. Click on that. Subscribe to our channel. Become part of our family. Upper left-hand corner, rectangle. To keep listening, I call that the library of past videos, and we got a whole lot more to talk about. So yeah, keep on listening.